For many seniors, one of the greatest frustrations is watching the body change with age. The scale may not move much, but the waistline expands, the arms and legs thin while a stubborn belly begins to push forward. Doctors call this visceral fat, the fat that builds up around your organs. And it is not just a cosmetic issue. This hidden fat is strongly linked to heart disease, diabetes, memory decline, and even early death. The tragedy is that so many people over 60 are told this is simply part of aging. Slow metabolism, they say, nothing you can do. But I want you to hear the truth today. Visceral fat is not an unavoidable destiny. It can be reduced, and one of the most powerful natural ways to target it requires no expensive treatment, no complicated diet, and no supplements at all. It simply involves water and time. I am speaking about the 72-hour water fast. Now, the idea of going without food for 3 days may sound daunting, especially if you've been told that seniors are too fragile for such practices. But research now shows that when done correctly and safely, fasting can be one of the most effective ways to burn through visceral fat while renewing the body at a cellular level. Within just 3 days, the body does something extraordinary. It clears out damaged cells, resets the metabolism, and begins drawing energy not from your muscles, but from the very fat stores that threaten your health. And here's the part that many seniors find most encouraging. Studies show that a 72-hour fast doesn't weaken the body. It actually stimulates growth hormone, protects lean tissue, and helps build resilience. In today's lecture, I'll be showing you exactly what happens in your body, hour by hour, day by day, during a 72-hour fast. We'll look at how it shrinks visceral fat, how it resets your immune system, and how it restores energy and clarity. I'll also show you who should avoid it and the right way to break the fast safely so that the benefits are not lost. This is not starvation. This is not deprivation. This is simply allowing the body to do what it was designed to do, heal itself. And when we understand this process, seniors can finally take back control of their weight, their energy, and their health. So let's begin by understanding why fasting works so powerfully. Why fasting? The science of resting the body. Every time we eat, the body shifts enormous energy into digesting that meal. The stomach churns, enzymes break down food, the pancreas pumps out insulin, and the bloodstream carries nutrients to the cells. It is a remarkable process, but it is also a heavy workload. For most people, especially in the Western world, this process never stops. We eat breakfast, then a snack, then lunch, then tea, then dinner, often followed by a late-night treat. From morning until night, digestion is in motion. What does this mean for the body? It means there is almost no time left for repair. The energy that could be directed to healing, renewal, and fat burning is locked up in constant digestion. And where does the excess energy go? Straight into storage, often as visceral fat. Now here is the brilliance of fasting. When you stop eating, the body is freed from this never-ending workload. Instead of being told to digest, it is told to restore. Energy that once managed food is redirected to cleansing damaged cells, balancing hormones, and most importantly, burning stored fat. The first hours are the hardest because the body is accustomed to sugar from food. But as insulin levels fall, the switch begins. Without constant spikes of insulin locking fat in storage, the body finally gains access to those reserves. And it doesn't just pull from the fat under the skin. It goes deeper into the visceral fat, the very fat that crowds the liver, pancreas, and intestines, the fat most closely linked with disease. Scientists call this a metabolic shift. Instead of running on sugar, the body begins running on fat. And as it burns that fat, it produces ketones, small molecules that fuel the brain and muscles more cleanly than sugar ever could. Seniors often notice clearer thinking, sharper memory, and steadier energy during fasting. That is the power of ketones at work. So fasting is not about punishing the body by withholding food. It is about granting the body permission to heal. When digestion rests, repair awakens. And this is why the 72-hour water fast is so powerful. It creates the time and space for the body to tackle the fat and cellular damage that years of eating and stress have built up. With that understanding in place, let us now move into the first day of fasting. What happens hour by hour as you begin this journey? Day 1, the first 24 hours. The first day of a fast is often the hardest, not because the body is in danger, but because the mind is adjusting. Most of us are accustomed to eating 3 meals a day with snacks in between. So when the usual pattern is interrupted, the stomach sends signals that we interpret as hunger. In truth, much of that sensation is habit. The body is not starving. It is simply asking, where is the food I usually expect at this hour? During the first several hours after your last meal, the body continues to run on what you've already eaten. Blood sugar rises, insulin is released, and the cells absorb the nutrients they need. By around 12 hours, digestion slows and the body begins to draw from stored glycogen, the sugar held in the liver and muscles. This is your short-term energy reserve, and most people have enough glycogen to last about 24 hours. At this stage, seniors may feel mild hunger, perhaps a dip in energy or a little irritability. That's normal. The body is beginning to shift gears, preparing to move from sugar burning to fat burning. As insulin levels continue to fall, another powerful process is triggered, autophagy. This begins in earnest around the 18th hour. Autophagy literally means self-eating, but it is the body's elegant way of cleaning house. Old damaged cells are broken down and recycled into healthier components. For seniors, this is particularly valuable because accumulated cell damage lies at the root of aging, inflammation, and chronic disease. Fasting gives the body permission to sweep away this cellular debris. By the close of the first day, yet another remarkable change takes place. Human growth hormone begins to surge, sometimes up to 5 times its normal level. This is not the growth hormone of childhood, but the repair hormone of later life. It tells the body to protect lean muscle and to use fat for energy instead. For seniors, this is good news. Fasting does not strip away your strength, it preserves it, while encouraging the body to draw from visceral fat stores. At the same time, levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor rise, a protein that supports brain health, protects neurons, and encourages the growth of new connections. Many people notice clearer thinking and sharper focus, even on this very first day. So although day 1 may feel like a battle with hunger, the truth is that profound healing has already begun. Insulin has dropped, autophagy has switched on, growth hormone is rising, and fat stores are being unlocked. The body is quietly preparing itself for the even greater transformation that unfolds on day 2. Day 2, the metabolic switch, 24-48 hours. If the first day of fasting feels like a test of willpower, the second day begins to feel like a reward. By now, most of the glycogen, the stored sugar in the liver, has been used. With this short-term energy gone, the body makes a remarkable transition. It shifts fully into fat burning. And here is the important part. It doesn't just take from the fat under the skin. With insulin now low, the body begins drawing energy from visceral fat, the deep fat stored around the liver, pancreas and intestines, the very fat most closely tied to disease. This metabolic switch is life-changing for seniors. While subcutaneous fat is mostly cosmetic, visceral fat drives inflammation, raises blood pressure, worsens blood sugar control, and increases the risk of heart attack and stroke. By breaking into these reserves, fasting is not only reshaping the body, it is dismantling one of the greatest hidden threats to health. As fat is broken down, the liver begins producing ketones, a clean and efficient fuel. Unlike sugar, which drives energy highs and lows, ketones provide steady clarity and endurance. Many people notice by the second day that the constant hunger of day 1 has faded. In its place comes a surprising calm, a sharper mind, and even a sense of lightness. This is the brain thriving on ketones. In fact, research shows that ketones stimulate the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, the very protein that protects and strengthens neurons. Another subtle but powerful shift happens here. The brain's reward system resets. After years of constant snacking and sugar, dopamine receptors become dulled, leaving people craving more but never truly satisfied. Fasting clears that fog. As the second day closes, cravings soften, food begins to lose its hold, and many seniors find that simple, wholesome meals are enough again. So by the end of day 2, the body is no longer running on the past, it is running on renewal. Fat burning is established, the brain is sharper, inflammation is lower, and cravings are loosening their grip. What began as discomfort is now turning into strength. And as we move into the third day, the transformation deepens even further. Day 3, deep healing and renewal, 48-72 hours. The third day of fasting is where the body reveals just how powerful this process can be. By now, ketones are fully established as the main source of energy, and hunger is often surprisingly mild. The body is not struggling, it is thriving on its own reserves, and the fuel it is using most at this stage is visceral fat. This is the fat that presses against organs, that fuels chronic inflammation, and that is so strongly linked with diabetes, dementia, and heart disease. By day 3, the body draws deeply from this reserve, steadily dismantling it and using it for energy. For seniors, this is one of the greatest gifts fasting can give, reducing not just weight on the scale, but the fat that silently undermines long-term health. At the same time, autophagy reaches its peak. The body does more than burn fat. It performs a cellular cleanup. Damaged proteins are dismantled, weak cells are recycled, and waste is cleared away. This is anti-aging at its most natural. Instead of piling damage upon damage, the body is repairing from the inside. But perhaps the most extraordinary event comes as the fast approaches 72 hours. Research shows that the immune system itself begins to renew. Old, worn-out white blood cells are cleared, and stem cells awaken to produce fresh replacements. For seniors whose immune systems often weaken with age, this renewal is profound. It means more resilience, better healing, and a stronger defense against illness. By the end of the third day, inflammation is lowered, insulin sensitivity is improved, fat reserves have been burned, and the immune system is refreshed. The body has entered a state of repair that no medication can truly mimic. And all of it has come not from adding more, but from stepping aside and allowing the body to do the work it was designed to do. So when the 72 hours close, what you have is not just a lighter body, but a body that has been cleaned, reset, and renewed from within. And when food is reintroduced wisely, the benefits of those 3 days ripple forward into the weeks and months ahead. What happens after the fast, breaking it safely? When the 72 hours come to a close, it may feel tempting to celebrate with a heavy meal, but this is the moment where wisdom matters most. The digestive system has been resting, enzymes are lowered, and the gut lining is more sensitive than usual. To rush back into processed food or heavy eating can undo much of the good work that has been achieved. The first foods should be gentle, simple broths, softly cooked vegetables, or lightly scrambled eggs. Even half an avocado provides the right kind of fats and fibres without overwhelming the stomach. These choices wake the digestive system slowly, easing it back into its work. Within a few hours, a second small meal can be taken, again clean and unprocessed, with a focus on vegetables, fruits, light proteins, and healthy fats. For seniors especially, this gentle reintroduction protects the heart, prevents sudden spikes in blood sugar, and helps the body remain in fat-burning mode rather than swinging straight back into storage. This stage is not the end of fasting, it is the bridge. By reintroducing food carefully, the body carries forward the clarity, the reduced inflammation, and the fat-burning momentum. Many seniors discover that after fasting, their cravings have softened, and the simple foods that once seemed plain now taste rich and satisfying. This is the dopamine reset at work, and it makes healthy eating not only easier, but far more enjoyable. How often should you do a 72-hour fast? Because the benefits of fasting are so striking, many people wonder how often they should do it. The truth is that a 72-hour water fast is a deep reset, not something to repeat constantly. For most healthy adults, especially seniors, 2 to 4 times a year is more than enough to trigger renewal without placing unnecessary strain on the body. Even once or twice a year can bring lasting changes in fat levels, immunity, and overall vitality. Between these deeper fasts, shorter periods of fasting, such as intermittent fasting where meals are eaten within an 8-hour window, can help sustain the benefits. This lighter rhythm continues to support insulin sensitivity, keep inflammation low, and prevent visceral fat from building back up. For seniors over 70, caution is especially important. A full 3-day fast once or twice a year may be sufficient, complemented by shorter fasts or simply longer overnight breaks between meals. Fasting should never be seen as punishment or as a competition. It is a tool, a way to remind the body of its own ability to heal and repair. The power lies not in constant restriction, but in occasional intentional rest. Used wisely, it becomes one of the simplest and most effective natural therapies available, renewing the body from the inside out. Who should avoid fasting? While fasting is a powerful tool for healing, it is not suitable for everyone. For some, a 72-hour water fast may place more strain on the body than benefit, and wisdom lies in knowing when to step back. Pregnant and breastfeeding women, for example, need every bit of nourishment to support both themselves and their child. For them, fasting is not rest, it is depletion. Those who are underweight or already malnourished should also avoid prolonged fasting. A body lacking in reserves cannot afford to give up what little it has, and instead of renewal, the result may be weakness. Similarly, individuals with a history of eating disorders can find that fasting stirs up old struggles, making it an unsafe practice without close guidance. There are also medical considerations. People with type 1 diabetes, advanced type 2 diabetes, or those taking insulin and blood sugar lowering medications must be very cautious, as fasting naturally lowers glucose and can drive it too low when combined with medication. The same caution applies to those on certain prescriptions that must be taken with food. Blood thinners, steroids, and blood pressure medications, for instance, can cause complications when meals are withheld. And for seniors managing serious chronic illness, such as advanced heart disease, kidney problems, or liver failure, a 72-hour fast should never be attempted without professional supervision. In these cases, the risks outweigh the benefits, and other gentler methods of supporting the body are far more appropriate. The guiding principle is this: fasting is not about toughness, nor is it about testing limits. It is about giving the body space to heal. For healthy seniors, it can be profoundly restorative, but for those in more fragile states, the wisest choice may be to nourish the body in other ways. Respect for individual needs always comes first. We began this journey with a simple truth. Many seniors believe that weight gain, fatigue, and a weakening body are simply part of getting older. But we've seen today that this is not the whole story. Much of what we attribute to age is actually the accumulation of visceral fat, inflammation, and damaged cells, conditions that can be improved and in many cases reversed with something as simple as fasting. The 72-hour water fast is not a punishment, and it is not starvation. It is a gift, a time when the body can put aside the endless work of digestion and turn inward to repair itself. In just 3 days, insulin drops, fat burning ignites, damaged cells are cleared away, and the immune system begins to renew. For seniors, these changes can mean sharper thinking, lighter bodies, stronger defenses, and perhaps most importantly, a restored sense of vitality. But remember, fasting is a tool. It is not about doing more, pushing harder, or testing your limits. It is about listening to your body and giving it what it needs. For some, that may mean a full 72-hour fast a few times a year. For others, it may mean shorter fasts woven into daily life. Always respect your individual condition and seek guidance if you are unsure. If you decide to try a 72-hour water fast, approach it with patience, wisdom, and care. Break the fast gently, nourish the body with clean foods, and carry forward the benefits into your everyday meals. The fast itself is just the beginning. The real transformation comes in how you live afterward. Now, I want to encourage you, if this lecture has opened your eyes to the power of fasting, please subscribe so you don't miss future talks where we'll explore more natural, science-backed ways to restore health after 60. Give this video a like if you found it valuable and share it with someone you love, because these truths can change lives when they are understood and applied. And most importantly, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever tried fasting? What was your experience? Or if you are thinking about it for the first time, what are your questions and concerns? Your stories not only inspire me, but they also encourage others who are on the same path. Remember, it is never too late to give your body the chance to heal. No matter your age, your cells still respond to care, your metabolism still responds to rest, and your body still holds within it the power to renew. Take that step and discover for yourself what 3 days of rest and water can unlock.